This is a new company. I got involved in about 1 year ago. Prior to that, I was, and am still in gold group mining. And before that, I formed and founded and ran Luca Mining for many years. So I've had several successes, and we're expecting this one to be another success. So this is a past producer. It's in Nevada. Forward-looking statements, we've all seen those. So our board of directors, I am blessed to have such a competent board of directors. Between the board, all the directors in this company, we've collectively raised well over $500 million for our previous deals. So we have the ability to bring in significant funding to continue to develop this project. And you can see it already starting. We've had 2 raises over the last little while, just announced another raise a few days ago, and we're using that to explore our Prince project. There's our capital structure, a very tight company at this point, just under 50 million shares, fully diluted 70 million, and a market cap of around 45 million. We have coverage from several newsletter writers at this conference. You can see them all here. You know them all well. So if we look at the project, we bought a Nevada corporation from an Australian group just recently, and we have 2 projects, but we're concentrating, we're concentrating on the Prince Silver Mine, a historic mine in a historic mining district. And to the north, we have a very large porphyry copper moly gold target, probably deep-seated, something that we'll look at later on or invite a partner to join us. This Prince Silver has historic drill holes, 129 drill holes in the past. The Australian group did a resource study that did not make it compliant. It had lacked tight enough drill spacing to make it a compliant resources under JORC standards. They calculated the resource in a wireframe, but did not publish that. So we're calling it an exploration target. And that exploration target is based on that 129 holes, between 25 to 43 million tons, and between those grades. And because they couldn't produce the compliant report because the drill spacing was too far apart, we have to look at those ranges. So mineralization is open in all directions. We have a fully funded drill program underway. We've just completed 2 drill holes. We'll be drilling about 26. And this financing we're doing, once it's completed, expect to add another drill and increase the size of the drill program. So there's the claims in this area in here. Historic mining out of the Pioche district, as well as Pioche and Castleton has this historic mining, all from underground sulfide veins, mantos in carbonate replacements. Prince Mine, the one we're concentrating on, had 1.2 million tons of historic mining at those grades. Again, these were chasing high-grade structures or mantos within a carbonate replacement deposit. The historic drilling, this was mostly underground in the past. We're looking at this as a surface target, open pit mining initially, underground. However, obviously we have to continue to drill and bring up our first resource. Historic drilling shows replacement mineralization, gently dipping beds over 2 kilometers and 350 meters wide in this area. So that exploration target is defined again here. These types of grades, and from 129 drill holes, historic drilling shows this within the Pioche shale. It's interesting, the Pioche shale was never consistently assayed from the previous drilling, except a few times in the 2012 drilling, which was the most recent, which was the bulk of those 129 holes. So that Pioche shale is returning some very good gold and silver numbers, and that was not the target in previous mining. We're targeting this as well as the high-grade mantos. Again, scout drilling has shown more of that Pioche shale to be mineralized. And this is really important for everybody to understand that that is in addition to the exploration target that we already have from the 129 drill holes. So it's primed for exploration. It also has manganese, 3 to 4% manganese, critical metal. So there's 3 critical metals on this, 3 critical metals on the project, gold, silver, and manganese. So we have a 6,500 meter drill program starting, and we're going to increase that to probably closer to 9,000 meters with this next financing. So if you look at that exploration target, conceptually, what does it mean? And this slide, I have a lot of caveats here. So this is not a resource. We are basing our gold or silver equivalents here from peer companies that have had success in hydrometallurgical process. What we are looking at for the Prince project, metallurgical studies are starting for us, but our peers have had these kind of recoveries from similar deposits. And so if we add all our exploration target, take the midpoints of the exploration target with the midpoint grades, then we can look at grade equivalent calculations that could have 102 million ounces of silver equivalent. And again, I stress this is just as conceptual in nature. It's not 43-101 compliant, but it gives you an idea of the size of the target that we're after. If you add manganese to that, and if we're successful in recovering our manganese, then we're getting up to more like 150 million silver equivalent ounces. So this is a big target, and we have lots of infill drilling to do to actually be able to publish this in a resource. And we expect that we'll at least achieve this in the resource and maybe achieve this or more with the amount of drilling we're doing. That's what it looks like. Gently dipping beds. These are silver assay highlights, very good grades throughout this deposit. And then there's the gold assays, some in the PO shale, some in the mantos, very good results. And then if we look at a long section through one of the best holes in the 2012 drilling, PRC 11, a large area. So the previous mining was all targeting this bed here, which is called the combined metals bed. That was the old historic mining. And we're finding from previous drilling good results in the PO shale. So we have a lot of infill drilling to bring this into a compliant resource. And if we look at the next slide, again, this shows PO shale highlights. There's the zones they mined in the past. And these are all intersections in the PO shale. So we expect that that will bring in more resources in and above the exploration target I showed you a few minutes ago. So we look at peer comparisons. These are silver producers with market caps in the 127, 151 range. We're down in the 40, this market cap in the 45 right now with the increase in stock price recently. So we anticipate by getting over 100 million ounce silver equivalent to be approaching these types of market caps in the near future. I think our timing would be looking at a maiden 43-101 resource published first to second quarter of next year. Talking very quickly about the porphyry copper target. So this area up in here, the previous owners did some geophysics, IP geophysics. They drilled 4 holes shown here. They went back in and did a more sophisticated induced polarization study and outlined these anomalies, and their holes looked like they missed. But one of those holes intersected over 450 meters of ore-grade molybdenum anomalous copper. So there's somewhere in these claims, I believe there's a deep-seated porphyry, probably more than we want to take on ourselves at this point in time. So we're looking for a larger company to come in to explore that. But it could be a very large system. It is a very large system, and it could be a very large deposit if it's discovered. So talking a bit about the manganese potential of the project, strategic metal. It's been shown to be recovered successfully through hydrometallurgical processes, and our metallurgical study is on that now. But you can read this at your leisure. Manganese is a sought-after element for batteries, solar power, et cetera, in the US, as well as other, obviously. Sum it up, we're in a great jurisdiction. Nevada is a premier jurisdiction to be exploring in. We have a brownfield asset. The 129 drill holes into the deposit already propels us past a greenfields project. It's definitely a brownfields project. In our program, we'll infill drill and step out to expand the known mineralization. And we hope to publish that new resource early next year. Tight share structure. And Catalyst, we have the drilling program underway. We've recently staked some new ground in the area. We'll be bringing that out once it's registered. And we expect to increase the size of our claims within the area in the coming months. And that's it, and it looks like I finished just in time, Jen.